Happy you could come along this time. We are joined, as always, by Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes Vermilion in Old Town, Tallulah in Arlington. Greg, it is always good to see you.
Great to see you, too.
What is on tap this week?
So a few weeks ago, we did Gillian from Goose Island, one of the Four Sisters they just released. And part of that package was also Lolita. I wanted to do this one because it's obviously amazing, but also because you'll see bottles of this, these really crazy size bottles. They're 765 milliliters, or just about 26-ounce bottles.
Wow.
You'll see them around town, but also you'll see some draft of Lolita. So it's worth checking out because it's a fantastic beer. Like Gillian, it is aged in wine barrels. In this case, 100% of the beer is aged in red wine barrels. Like Gillian, it's a little bit funky, but much funkier. And it has some fruit, too. Rather than strawberries, this one is aged on 30,000 pounds of Michigan-grown family farm raspberries.
15 so they made tons. 15 tons of raspberries?
Quite a big amount of it. It's an ale it's about 8.5% alcohol right in there. Ale fermented with Brettanomyces bruxellensis, which is that specific strain that gives you some horsey, barnyard, earthy funk, but also strawberry, pie cherry, things like that. Aged on the raspberries in the red wine barrels. Just a fantastic beer. Really dry, really bright, effervescent, mildly tart.
Yeah, you say effervescent. It looks like it's violently alive.
It is. It's still foaming, even though it's lost its head.
Oh, there I did it. I knew I'd slop the beer around at one point. Oh, that's real nice.
That's good, isn't it?
It's got the very, very, very lightest bit of tartness to it, which I think people who are just getting into, a little funkier, more tart beers will enjoy.
It's more like rosé, almost like rosé wine. It's amazing. It will develop in bottle too. This is a great one to lay down.
Okay.
And the wild yeast that's still in the ale inside the bottle will continue to dry it out and make it even funkier over time. So a really, really great one, named after the famous Nabokov novel, Lolita.
As referenced
and the
in Don't Stand So Close to Me by the Police.
That's right, exactly. But yeah, I guess it bears some similarities, I think, to that. But it is definitely a beer that'll sneak up on you. I mean, it's very light and airy on the palate, full flavored, of course, but it's 8.5% alcohol, so it kind of can grab you.
I got to say, for a beer, it's fun to watch. I don't say that very much about beer. Yeah, now, you said this is 765 milliliters?
Yeah, it's a strange new bottle.
So why not the regular 750?
That's a good question. I don't know.
And does that cost them extra to have someone make those?
Oh, no, I don't think so. It's these are, they're basically buying from wine purveyors. It's just a little bit larger, and that's just probably based on the the wine bottle from which it comes. So it even looks a little bit bigger, but obviously these beers are pretty expensive, just based on the amount of fruit alone that goes into making it, the aging of the wine in the wine barrels, the purchasing of the wine barrels, and things like that.
What would you pair this with?
Oh, I mean, this is something that is just fantastic. I mean, with the previous one we talked about, Gillian, which was very bright and kind of light on the palate, this has got a little bit more darker intensity. So this can go more towards richer fish like tuna and salmon. If you're going to go seafood, this can go more towards your steak tips, your lamb chops, your duck. It would be fantastic. But rather than smothering anything dark and rich with a really intense beer, I almost think this would liven those things up. I'm also thinking, just off the top of my head right now, like steak tartare would be great here. Something really cold and fresh would be really nice.
Do you think like a creamy pasta tortellini? I mean, because it's got a rosé quality. Would that?
I think that would be awesome.
I'm just thinking,
definitely like
hazelnut tortellini.
Yeah, Alfredo's. I think that would be fantastic. It would dig into that richness as well.
All right, Greg, thank you as always. We appreciate it. Everyone, please always do drink responsibly, and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.